Ledgeview Partners, and today I'm going to demonstrate account management with our CRM for oil and gas marketers. The CRM I'm about to demonstrate is powered by Microsoft Dynamics CRM. However, our organization, Ledgeview Partners, also does CRM, customization and installations of Salesforce.com. So with that being said, let's find out how you can manage your book of business using our CRM for oil and gas marketers. I'm just going to actually jump right into the product here. Okay, so what you're seeing is just a list of accounts. These could be prospect accounts, these could be active customers. Today's focus really is on keeping track of and managing your current book of business or your active customers. There are other videos that talk about opportunity management and trying to capture more business with new accounts, prospects, and with existing customers. So let's just pull up one customer and see how you might use CRM to just stay up to speed with one customer. So I did a quick search. Maybe I'm about to visit this customer, make a call to them, and I want to just find out a little bit more about them. So one of the things that's very popular with our oil and gas CRM is this concept of order history or your invoice data. So one of the questions that might come up is, when's the last time this customer bought from me? What did they buy? Those types of things. And within our CRM, I can just pull up all the different related records to this account, and one of them is a file we called order history. And I was looking at this earlier, and I realized when I populated the data, I actually reversed my price and cost. Don't get too carried away with the numbers here. Just realize that there's a very easy way, the way I just showed you, to pull up basically every invoice transaction for an account. So what this is showing me is the last time they ordered. This would probably be like an invoice number, the specific product they purchased, the price and cost, the volume, the revenue, and the gross profit that transaction produced. And obviously we're going to have months and months worth of this data, so I could just scroll down and see more and more just to kind of see a buying pattern for this customer. So that's very detailed, invoice transactions. You can also, if I jump back to the main screen looking at this account, I can also look at that data in a summary format. So what this little grid shows me for this account is it's looking at the last 12 months and it's summarizing by product, the purchases that they've made. So, and it also sorts it by the product they bought the most of down to the product they bought the least of. And I see that there's a 0 on here, so this customer probably bought something and then maybe returned it. So it ended up being a net of 0. So this is summary, the last 12 months by product. Some of the more obvious, just basic CRM things are, the contacts that this customer has. As I scroll down a little bit further, any open activities that I have with this account, any open opportunities that I have. So you see all that right here on this main screen. There's also, from your back office or your accounting system, you can optionally bring over things like, accounts receivable information. So what's his total balance, how much is current, past due amounts, last statement amounts. So optionally, you can bring over a lot of AR information that may also help you manage this account. Some folks are a little bit more graphical, so we analyze that order history information for you graphically by what we call this order history dashboard. So if I click on that, what it does is it grabs all that invoice data and it shows me, in this case I'm looking at gross profit, but I could look at some other things as well. This is showing me so far this year, so year to date, based on your fiscal year, how am I doing this year versus last year? And then, because it may be early in your fiscal year, we also show you the most recent 12 months versus the prior 12 months. So look at on a fiscal basis, looks like we're doing good, but if I compare the current 12 months to the prior 12 months, we've also obviously gone down. We also break those two charts down by product segment. So again, this is that year-to-date comparison, looking at, in this case, they bought antifreeze, grease, heavy-duty, and industrial products from me. And over the last 12 months versus the prior 12 months, again, the same grouping. So you can see, heavy-duty gross profit has gone down quite a bit. Okay, so that's I think that's enough of graphics and order history comparison. One last thing I would show you that's been kind of popular on the account main form. We give you optionally, you can analyze your accounts and put in an estimated days between orders. And I've got just kind of some bad examples here, but what I'm saying is this account orders approximately every 444 days, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, you would go through your book of business, which from what I've heard from my customers can only take, take an hour or two, maybe 3, depending on how many accounts you have. You analyze that customer, look at their order history, and come up with your estimate on, how often does this customer order? Once you've got that populated, one of our dashboards will show you who kind of dropped out of range, or basically maybe who stopped doing business with you. So again, I've got some terrible test data in here, but imagine a list of customers that shows that estimated days between orders that I've come up with, and then how many days it's actually been since their last order. And hopefully this screen comes up blank for you, or maybe has 1 or 2 accounts, and you see who kind of dropped off the radar, and you can maybe do a little analysis, maybe take a call or make a call or a visit to find out why they have stopped ordering. So very simple yet super powerful tool to analyze your book of business. Obviously with CRM, which is about every CRM that's out there, you can do activity tracking, so you can set reminders for yourself, keep track of tasks that you've done, emails that you've done, so obviously activity tracking with CRM. But the other big thing I think that our oil and gas products offers to help manage your accounts is in our reports. And I'm just going to wing through as quick as I can about 3 or 4 reports. Here's a ranking report, and I'm not going to get into like a ton of the options here, but I'm just going to run for my book of business. I'm looking at, I think I'll look at last fiscal year. So I'm going to look at last fiscal year, and I just want to rank my accounts, let's say by gross profit. And again, this is just to give you a handle on your customers, who your big customers are, maybe who your little customers are. So this is a list of all my customers looking at last year's data, showing me every customer, and I told it to rank it by gross profit. So I'm going to see the customer who contributed the most gross profit. As you see, the numbers are going down, down to the least gross profit. We also show a percentage that they contributed, and then a running percentage. So you can easily see, like on this first page, 41, almost 42% of my gross profit is generated by this list of customers. So I don't know if I'm running a campaign or having a customer event, I probably want to make sure these folks are invited. So a lot of different ways you can use that data, but that's a ranking report. Another one is just an order history totals report. So it's kind of the same concept. I'll look at, again, I'll just look at where the owner is the current user, and the order date, I'll say, is in last fiscal year, right here. Again, I'll use basically the same data. Run the report. There are really no questions for me to answer on this one, so it just runs, and this is just going to list every customer, a little bit of information about each customer, and then how much gross profit, revenue, and volume they produced. And I can click on any of these headings here and resort this report. I could export it to Excel. Again, another quick way to analyze your book of business, and that filter screen that I bypassed, I'll jump back to this, lets you filter on any field from the account file or the order history file. So a great way to, analyze your data. All right, I think I can sneak in 2 more here. Report 140, kind of popular to see, again, maybe who dropped off the radar at the account level. So maybe I'll just pick all the accounts now rather than worrying about mine, and I'll look at where the order history, where the order date is last fiscal year, let's say, just like I've been doing. So I'll say last fiscal year. I'll go to run the report, and I will analyze this looking at gross profit. Actually, I think on this report, because it's a comparison report, I don't even want this selection. So I'm just going to delete that selection. Let's run this thing and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to say let's check volume. And what this report does is it compares the current 12-month period to the prior 12-month period. So listing each account, showing how much, in this case, volume did they generate in the current 12 months and the prior 12 months, and then a variance. And again, I could click on any one of these headings, resort it, look at those with the most variance. Maybe that doesn't have anything for the the current period. Obviously those went down the most, so I could just click on current period. We got some of these with some negatives. A lot of these with they didn't have any. Some small numbers in here, but I think you get the concept to easily just compare periods to see if a customer is kind of dropped off the radar or not. And then finally, to possibly generate more business from existing customers, we have report 210. So what 210 does, obviously you know your business better than I, but what this does, I'm just going to go to run the report. It's going to ask me some questions. It's going to give me a range of dates. I'm going to put in from the 1st of 2014 through February 10th of 2015. And what this lets me do is line up all my customers and 2 product segments. So what I can do is I can say, show me my customers who've been buying, let's say, grease, and compare them, their business with grease, with industrial oil, and again, I care maybe about volume here. So what this is going to do is line up all my customers with those types of products. And again, for me, if there's a relationship there, if a customer usually buys grease, they typically should be buying their industrial oil for me as well. And in this particular case, all these customers are not. So I can sort this by variance, which is great. So I can show me those that are buying, very little, if any, grease and a lot of industrial oil. And boy, maybe there's some opportunity to get these customers to be buying my grease. I can also just click this, resort it by variance the other way, and now I'm seeing those that have purchased a lot of grease and not very much, if any, industrial oil. Again, another chance to get some business. Obviously, not every customer is going to have that same correlation, but if most do, it's just a very simple way to use the data in CRM, line up the information, and give you some potential business to go after. So that's it. I think that's enough on account management. I'm just going to jump back to the PowerPoint here just to kind of wrap up. I'll let you know just a little bit about Ledgeview Partners. Again, we do stuff with Dynamics CRM for Microsoft and Salesforce.com. We're headquartered in Appleton, Wisconsin. We do have a lot of expertise in the oil and gas industry, and we have lots of customers, as you can see here. And one of the things we're most proud of is our customer retention rate. Customers, usually get CRM through us, and then we just work on phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3, and we just keep helping enhance their CRM, and those customers seem to be happy with us, and so we have this 98% retention rate. Okay, enough about Ledgeview and CRM. If you liked what you saw, are interested in a deeper dive, or have questions or anything that you want to talk about concerning our oil and gas product, Kevin Brown is the person to talk to. I'll leave the screen up here for a second. There's his phone number and email address. Feel free to reach out to Kevin, and he will take care of your needs. All right, I hope this video was helpful, answered some of your questions, and again, a deeper dive, reach out to Kevin. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.